Namaste and welcome to Part 2, Subject 14. The genuine spiritual master never claims to be God. This is another interesting and very important subject. There have always been a plethora of cheating gurus who claim to be God or an incarnation of God. Nowadays, with their savvy use of the internet, their trickery spreads quickly and far and wide. An example of one supposed incarnation of God was Sai Baba, who died in 2011. At the height of his influence, he had 30 million followers in 126 countries. His followers included highly placed Indian politicians. Sai Baba claimed to have divine powers and be an incarnation of God, or as he described, I was Rama, I was Shiva, I was Krishna, I was Jesus, and now I am Sai Baba. When he was 14 years old, he describes that he was bitten by a scorpion and lost consciousness for some hours. Over the next few months, he materialized in his hands sugar candy and flowers. Of course, we'll put in brackets, as he grew up, he would materialize ash and jewelry, such as watches and so on, instead of sugar candy. But as a teenager, he proclaimed himself to be the reincarnation of a saint, and his fame grew amongst many people in India. But 23 years later, he suffered a stroke and 4 severe heart attacks. On recovery, he stated that now he was the son of Lord Shiva. He predicted that he would remain healthy until death at 96 years old. As it turned out, he died at the age of 84 and after a couple of years of ill health. An estimated 500,000 people attended his funeral, including the Prime Minister of India and the Dalai Lama. After his death, millions of people continued and continue to accept him as their guru and as an incarnation of God, despite the mountain of allegations and evidence of his sexual misconduct with young boys and video recordings of his faking the manifestation of ash and jewelry, just like a magician might do on stage. If any one of those millions of people listened to what Sai Baba was saying and doing, and then checked with Scripture, they would know that he was a fraud, a pretender. But the cheater finds those to cheat. Here are just 3 verses from the Vedas on this topic, that the genuine spiritual master never claims to be God. In the teachings of Lord Kapila, the Guru never says, I am Krishna, I am God, I am Bhagavan. Rather, the Guru says, I am the most humble servant of the servant of the servant of God. He does not even say that he is the direct servant. Rather, he is the servant 100 times removed. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-16, the purport, in the revealed scriptures there is definite information about the incarnation of God. No one should be accepted as God or an incarnation of God unless he is confirmed by the revealed scriptures. The servants of God never tolerate being called God. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was God himself, and according to the indication of the revealed scriptures, but he played the part of a devotee. People who knew him to be God addressed him as God, but he used to block his ears with his hands and chant the name of Lord Vishnu. He strongly protested against being called God, although undoubtedly he was God himself. The Lord behaved so to warn us against unscrupulous men who take pleasure in being addressed as God. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 7:14-41 purport, Viswanath Chakravarti Thakur says, in all the scriptures, the spiritual master, who is the best of the Vaishnavas, is considered to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This does not mean, however, that the Vaishnava thinks himself God, for this is blasphemous. Although a Vaishnava is worshipped as being as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, such a devotee always remains a faithful servant of the Lord and never tries to enjoy the prestige that might accrue to him from being the Supreme Lord's representative. There are many more verses in Vedic scriptures about this topic. Even in the Bible, in Matthew 7:15, there is a very famous verse, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves." So I think you'll find that quite interesting, all of that. We have just 2 topics left now in part 2. So until we meet with subject 15, Namaste.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.